Can you believe that this was the actual cover of a gaming magazine back in the day? And I remember people would look at it and they would say, I mean, yeah, it's gaming. It's a girl in a bikini. Yeah. But nowadays, people would actually think that this is porn. Like they would think it's pornographic. It's like, get the children out of the room. Oh my goodness. The harm that it does to the society. This is why the birth rates are declining. The calamity that falls over the United States of America in the shape of a titty. And I mean, like, look, this is Game Informer now, right? Worse yet, it occasionally leans into the serious penance for cringe-inducing fan service that it is heteronormative in nature. Eye-rolling creepiness. It is creepy, this vile imagery. It disturbs me just like it disturbs the traditional conservatives. We from the far left, as well as the tradcons, we are equally disturbed and we are quaking in dismay. How can we allow this to happen? But hopefully with the power of Visa and MasterCard, they will ban this, and then they can ban the gun purchases as well. And after that, while we cannot elect our representatives into office, we know that if we pressure the credit cards, we will get our way. Together with the traditional conservatives, working hand in hand with the far-left extremists, we will shape America for a better future. That of our children and our immigrants' children. You know, all jokes aside though, this absolute horror show that I'm seeing with far-left extremists working hand in hand with conservative people that are being taken for a ride as useful idiots is bewildering. Because, like, the far-left extremists, they love degeneracy. Like, they love everything that's degenerate as long as it's not heteronormative. So, like, their war is on heteronormative culture. And the traditional conservatives, they think, oh, no, it's actually on all sexuality. No, so we're on board with that. But they don't realize that, no, it's just, like, the heteronormative stuff that they want to ban. I got sidetracked just a little bit. But I find it hilarious, man. Like, if you go on Twitter, you will see it. It's like the new puritanical move. But, like, the moment they see a girl in a bikini, like, nothing pornographic, by the way. Nothing out of the ordinary. Not just, you know, the same shit that you used to see in the 90s all the time. They freak out. It's like, I don't know. It's like showing the most vile imagery ever conceivable. But anyway, right. So, Game Informer is closing down. As you can see, I don't really miss them. They weren't the worst, by the way. A lot of people are bewildered that Kotaku is still remaining open, and I think like Kotaku is that dark side feel of gaming. Like no matter what happens, Kotaku will manage to find a way. So I don't expect them to close anytime soon. Game Informer has closed apparently due to GameStop, which is the parent company asking them to close down. So, yeah, now they're gone. And apparently, a lot of people are upset because of the interviews and the articles. And, yeah, like, this actually does bring into question what happens when you actually don't own anything. Because back in the day, like, you could actually purchase this, right? Like, this was a print format that you could put your hands on and you could have it saved somewhere in a drawer. And it would always exist. Like, even if the company went bankrupt, you still had the actual issue. But nowadays, because everything is on the internet, unless it's archived, and even if it's archived, like most normies wouldn't know where to look for it, then it's gone, right? So there were a lot of interviews and some opinion pieces that are gone. But the problem is that what happens when you have something like Steam, right? Or let's say Epic Game Store goes out of business. Or Good Old Games. Or something like that requires people to be able to connect to a server in order to have access to their library. Like, what happens when that goes down? And the reality is that most people think it will never happen, so they don't really care. There may be a way for, you know, like allowing people to download their library before the stuff goes down, but I don't know. It's just a big warning sign of what happens when you actually don't own anything. So that's why a lot of people are upset, I guess. But other than that, I don't know what to say. I mean, journalists don't really have this good of a prestige to the point where if Asmongold would say that he would quit tomorrow, it would actually be a lot more impactful than reading that Game Informer is going to stop publishing. Like, I guess it would make sense because then it would show that it has some readers. But no, the reality is no one cares. I mean, people aren't even happy that it's getting closed down. That's how indifferent people were. And it does show that the trend is to move away from gaming journalism. Whether it's because people just don't like to read in the age where the video format is dominant, or whether people are just sick and tired of these better than you, know-it-all game journalists that go on Twitter and insult the customer. So most people have just moved away from these publications and they're actually going towards streamers. And the thing that upsets me is because there was a time in 2016 when I wanted to see these companies fail, and I wanted to see them fail because they were constantly antagonistic towards the customer. Like, that's what really annoyed me, you know? It's like, how dare you? You know, I'm here gracing you with my clicks, putting food on your table, and this is how you treat me? So I would have been happy at the time if I saw them go out of a business. But now I just don't care. Now I keep hearing, oh, did you hear that this publication went out of a business or this studio went out of a business? And I'm like, I guess. It's going to be fun if something is going to replace them. But I don't think even that will happen. Because as I mentioned before, we have the streamers, right? And it also goes to show how talentless these journalists are. Because if you were like a journalist of some renown and your publication gets canceled, like, you could start a YouTube channel and you could still manage to make a living. I mean, hell, you know, say what you want about Bob Chipman, but like back in the day, Bob Chipman was the name. You know, I really disagree with that, man. Like, those of you who know who I'm talking about, you're in the know. But yeah, like, if Bob Chipman got fired from his publication, he just fired up his YouTube channel and he did have views. I mean, he did cater to a certain group of people that I have nothing in common with. But, yeah, like, you could say, yeah, no, like, he's pulling in an audience. Nowadays, like, these journalists can't even do that. The competency crisis is astonishing. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. And if you want to support the channel, there's a link into the pinned comment. It will take you over to my subscribe star. And in exchange for even the smallest donation, you're going to get the biggest buyer's remorse you can imagine. But there's also another link that will take you to my live stream. And I do live stream every single day. So if you want to interact with me for some mysterious reason, you can find me there. Maybe we can use the Wayback Machine and read some old gaming news, huh? Wouldn't that be great? From a time when the game journals actually loved the hobby and understood the targeted audience. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.